Hi guys, welcome to another reading vlog. It is Monday the 13th of January and I already started a new book. I'm still in the process of reading. The name of this book is Secret, but I just kind of lost interest in it. But last night I started reading The Familiars by Stacey Holz. After finishing the course set, I thought I want to read more historical fiction at this point, and so yesterday I chose like 6 books that caught my attention. Some of them weren't historical fiction, but I was still kind of interested in them, so I laid them out on the floor, and then I couldn't decide because I'm really bad at deciding which book to read next. That's why I've got my TBR box. I decided to pull that TBR box, pull out a book, and like 5 times, 5 books, 5 titles, and if one of them was the book that was on my floor, that was the book that I was going to be reading. So this is this one, and the cover is really gorgeous, right? This book is set in Lancashire in 1612. We follow this main character who is a 17-year-old girl who's married. She's pregnant for the 4th time, but all of the 3 times she miscarried, so all of her babies were born dead. And now this time she's desperate to have a healthy baby, so she comes across this young midwife, Alice Gray, and she helps her to have a baby because she helps her, and now she's being accused of being a witch, and so these girls now could both be in trouble. Their lives could be in danger. So far I've read 66 pages, so I've read 4 chapters. I was really I didn't want to stop reading it, but it was already getting to midnight, and I don't ever go to bed at midnight. It's quite late for me, so I just had to stop. But I am looking forward to reading this book today. I've got a few things to do today, even though it's my day off, last day of my holiday. But anyway, all I want to do is literally just sit and read this one, but I can't because I've got other stuff to do today. But I've really enjoyed it so far. I don't know what else to say. It's just the plot intrigued me from the first page. It almost never happens. I already kind of am feeling for our main character, whose name is Fleetwood Shuttleworth. And I like her husband. I like Alice. She seems to be mysterious, and I'm quite intrigued with the name of the book, why it's called that, and quite intrigued. And from what I've read from the praise and everything, it does have, it's like not exactly based on real life events, but there was apparently trials at that time about witches. I forgot the name of the witches. Pendle witches, I think. Yeah, Pendle witch trials that apparently did happen in real life, so it's kind of based around that fact, and I find it really interesting so far. So witchcraft is going to be in this book apparently, and yes, and what I also like about this book so far is that they're a huge manor house, if you want to call it, I don't know, estate. It is basically like a remote place surrounded by a forest. I love things like this, and our main character goes to the forest quite a lot. That's where she met Alice, which seems to be a mysterious girl, but she's likable so far. I don't know what else to say about her. And apparently this book is also about friendship between these 2 girls. I'm looking forward to just carrying on with this one. I'm so looking forward to it, and the cover is absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, I'm happy that this one is the book of my choice. I've been doing well recently this month with finishing a book a week, because obviously I've finished 5 books so far, and we're not exactly halfway through the month. I know 2 of them were short, and 2 of them I started in 2019, but still I've been making good progress so far, so I'm really pleased about that. And yeah, I might update you at some point today or tomorrow or whenever. So yeah, bye. Hello everybody, today is Thursday the 16th of January. I am having, for the first time in a long time, a half day today. I finished at 1 o'clock, which was lovely, and then I went to Sainsbury's to buy something for my lunch, and for the first time ever I think. I've seen this in Sainsbury's. Oh dear. Sushi, love it. And I'm gonna have that for my lunch. And then I also have these, what do you call them? Chopsticks? I don't know. From Favourite that we got like last year or something. So I'm really looking forward to that. So yeah, I'm gonna have my lunch. I'm still currently reading The Familiars. I reached part 1. My cat is curious. Nice. So yeah, I reached I finished part 1, and now I'm gonna start part 2. I'm on page 150, I think. And then also yesterday, I felt like I've just needed a break, to be honest, from reading The Familiars. So I just carried on with, what's it called? The name of this book is Secret. And yeah, so I just carried on with that and read about like 50 pages yesterday. So yeah, I'm not giving up on that one. I just felt like reading that one. Today, my plan is to have some food, and then I might sit and read The Familiars, how I was planning to do today, or I might play The Sims, or if I feel like it, I could edit my video. And yeah, and then I also was thinking maybe I should go to the library and get a non-fiction book, because I've not mentioned it because I didn't think it at the time, but I think one of my goals for this year should be try and read a little bit more non-fiction from like different topics, just because I want to, really, especially psychology. That would be nice because I'm quite interested in psychology. So I might go to the library, but it's pouring it down, really raining really hard, so I'm not sure if I want to. So yeah, I'll have to decide what I want to do. And then in the evening, I'm looking forward to having my bath. And yeah, we'll be listening to probably the second album by Placebo, however you pronounce that, I'm not sure. At the moment, I think my favourite song of this month is going to be Without You I'm Nothing by that same band, Placebo, I suppose. I don't know how to pronounce that. But I love that song. I can literally, it plays in my head all the time now, and I absolutely love it. Never heard of it before, but I love it so far. So yeah, that's everything I wanted to talk about right now. I might update you a little bit later, I might not. We'll see. Also, I've got these crisps to try. I don't think I've tried them, but I fancy something crispy. So yeah, got crisps. So I'll see you at some point later. Bye. Hi everybody, today is Monday the 20th of January, and I have quite a lot to update you on. So yesterday I actually finished 2 books. First one that I finished was The Familiars by Stacey Holz. I really enjoyed this book. I even cried towards the end. It was happy tears, but I cried. I don't often cry in books, so I think whenever I cry, that means it was a good book. And yeah, I can't remember if I even explained what this one is about. I think I did. So this one is a story about this 17-year-old girl named Fleetwood Shuttleworth. She's pregnant for the 4th time, but all the previous times her babies died. She basically had a miscarriage and all of the babies were dead. And so now she's desperate to have a baby because her husband is desperate to have an heir. And so she goes to this, she meets this midwife, a young midwife called Alice Gray, and she helps her. And the only trouble with that, she now is being accused of being a witch, and so now our main character is kind of in trouble of that as well. So this book was really good. It was beautifully written. It's one of those books that whenever you read a chapter, they're not exactly short, not exactly long, but whenever I finish one chapter, whenever I was reading, I was like, no, don't finish the chapter, I'm not quite ready yet. So every time I just wanted to keep reading the book, to be honest. I did want to have a break from it for a couple of times, but then I just was hooked again. So, and also the thing that kind of intrigued me as well, that this book is based on real events. So it is about Pendle witch trials. I don't know if anybody knows about that. Apparently, it happened in 1612, and some characters' names are real. So they were real people at the time. Obviously, the story is fiction, but the names were real. So there was a girl named Fleetwood Shuttleworth, who was a 17-year-old girl who lived in this what's it called? Gawthorpe Hall, I think, in Derbyshire. No, Lancashire. Yeah, and her husband Richard Shuttleworth. So those people existed. Alice Gray existed, and the other witches' names that were blamed to be witches on that witch trial, they existed in real life as well, which I found really fascinating. Now I just want to find out a little bit more, but I'm always bad at that kind of thing. Whenever I finish a book and I'm interested in the topic of it, or if it's based on real events, I'm really bad at just even looking it up. I don't know why, I just kind of move on and never come back to it, but it's really interesting to me. But the book itself, the plot was really interesting. There are still a couple of questions that are left unanswered. I don't really want to say anything because it might be considered spoilers as usual, but our main character, she is a strong character. For a 17-year-old girl, she did a few things to save her friend because they became friends, Alice and her. And she was scared, she was terrified, she was uncomfortable doing some things for her, but she still did them for the sake of their friendship. And I thought she was quite a strong character, especially being a 17-year-old girl who's also pregnant. And also Alice Gray as a character, I think she was my favourite character. She's, I don't know, there's something about her that I just love. She's kind, she's strong as well, she's calm, she just carries on with her life, accepting everything. Yet she's a little bit secretive sometimes. We don't know a lot about her at the beginning, yet even at the end we didn't really know a lot about her. But how she sort of behaves, how she talks, I loved it. Somehow she's my favourite character. And so, yes, this book intrigued me a few times. A few times there were revelations that I did not expect them to happen, so it surprised me quite a bit a few times. And then she throws something else at you sort of at the end. You would have thought that would have affected the main character more, something that happened in her past, but it's not ever really mentioned until later in the book. But then it doesn't really affect her in any way. That was a little bit weird, but okay. And also I know that there's The Foundling by the same author that I'm now really curious about. I've written a few more thoughts on this book, but I haven't got my notebook with me, and I think I'll mention them just in my wrap up. But for now, I think that's enough to say that I really enjoyed this book, and I gave it 4 stars in my diary. Really, really enjoyed it. A really good historical fiction, and it's one of those historical fiction that doesn't actually deal with a lot of gory stuff. I mean, it does mention how she miscarried children a few times and all the consequences, a little bit of detail about that, a little bit of detail about giving birth, but not like extremely gory, not extremely dark, which I really like. It wasn't disturbing in any way, it was just beautiful, I think. So I really enjoyed it. It was really compelling, and like I said, I didn't want to stop reading it. So I recommend this book if you're into historical fiction, especially. I don't think there are many books set in 1612, especially based on real events. That's what makes this book really good. She sort of, like the real facts that happened at the time, she managed to mix them into the story so that they would make more sense, and that it just makes perfect sense. The gaps that were sort of left out in the real history of that trial, she filled them up to the point that they would actually make sense and make an interesting story. So that was really, really good, I thought. So yeah, enough about this book, I think. And then also another book that I finished was, the name of this book is Secret. That was a reread for me. That is the first book in a series. There are 5 more. I was rereading it for the sake of thinking if I want to carry on with the series or not. And now I can definitely say I'm not going to carry on with the series. Whenever I read it the first time, I enjoyed it a lot more. This time I gave it 3 stars, but I think it's like, hello, 3 stars to be honest.
It was interesting enough. It is a middle grade book. I don't know how to describe this book. I'm just going to read you the blurb because it's all like secret and whatever. So the blurb says, "Stop, leave now. This is a secret story about a dangerous secret I must not reveal. Good, you're curious, you're brave. If you join this adventure, I will introduce you to some of the events and people in this perilous book. It is an alarming account of two extraordinary adventurers, a missing magician's diary, a symphony of smells, and a deadly secret. But be careful, our enemies are watching, and tell no one, because the name of this book is Secret." So I don't know however much I can tell you, but like it sounds really intriguing. It is interesting enough, but for some reason I just didn't care about it as much. I'm sure children would love this book, and probably many people would love this book. It's really intriguing. The characters are kind of unique. The two characters are a boy and a girl of the age of 12. There are obviously adventures in this book, but yeah, like I didn't really care as much about it this time. There are beautiful illustrations throughout the book, like chapter heading, I don't know. Like they are quite pretty and they add to the story, but I just didn't care for it. And I started another book this morning. That is The Binding by Bridget Collins. I've heard great things about it, but the reason why I've started reading this is because my colleague at work started reading this book and she said, "Oh my god, it's so good, you should read it." And I obviously had it on my shelf and I thought I'd better start it. I'm on page 36. I've read 2 chapters this morning, but from what I've read, it is really atmospheric, and it was, again, I did not want the chapter to end, which is again a good indicator. It's really atmospheric, comforting somehow, even though the things that happen in the beginning are not exactly comforting, but kind of the way it's written and the way our character is going through things is just kind of comforting. And the book itself is beautiful. So this book is again another historical fiction. I'm clearly into historical fiction at the beginning of the year apparently, which I do enjoy my historical fiction. And this one, I don't know the time period yet. I don't think it's been mentioned, but it is about our main character. I don't remember his name. Yeah, his name is Emmett, and he works on a farm, and then one day he goes to be an apprentice for a binder, which means he'll be binding books, obviously. And one day there's also like a mystical element about it, is that whenever somebody wants to hide a secret, they can hide it in a book, and so he'll bind the secret within a book. And then one time he finds a book with his name on it, so there's clearly a secret that he wanted to hide, but he's forgotten what it is, and I'm assuming he's gonna try and find out what it is. It is a gorgeous book, and it is so beautifully written so far, so I can't wait to read more from this book, and hopefully I will be reading more from it today. My plan for today is, as usual, it is my day off. Luckily, I'm gonna talk to my parents now. It is only 22. I'll talk to my parents, then I will edit my video, which is going to be most disappointing reads of 2019, which is probably going to be controversial, but oh well. And yeah, at some point later I'm just gonna carry on reading the book. I do need to practice my piano a little bit today as well. So yeah, that's it for now. That was a very long update, but I haven't updated you in a while, so yeah.
Hi, it is Thursday today, the 23rd of January. I seem to be always doing updates on Mondays, Thursdays and Sundays. It just happens, I don't know why. I had my half day today. It is 2:30 at this point, but I'm still quite happy to have a half day. So yeah, I'm here for a quick update kind of thing. I've done some progress on the binding. Now I'm currently on page 58. My plan for now is to have my lunch, watch some booktube in the meantime, and then read some more of this. So yeah, that would be lovely. And then also, all of a sudden, I just fancied starting the reread of the Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. I read the first chapter a few months ago when I felt like I wanted to reread the book, but then I stopped. I don't know why. I can't remember the reason why I stopped, to be honest. Now I'm on chapter 6 page 56. Really enjoying it. So it's like my comforting read, I suppose. I just wanted to reread it all of a sudden. And then I've been thinking at some point I actually need to come back to my Witches short story collection, because I've stopped that one as well and I haven't touched it since, and I think I need to work on that as well at some point. But yeah, also I need to carry on with my piano lessons. I'm supposed to have one today because I've decided for myself to have them twice a week, which is I watch videos on YouTube by this guy and just do whatever he does, and then just practice myself by myself as well. But yeah, I haven't got a lot of thoughts on this book so far at all. I wasn't reading anything yesterday. I don't think I was reading on Tuesday. I just had like 2 days with no reading at all. I don't know. I just felt like sometimes with books like this, when they're really atmospheric, I kind of sometimes don't want to read them because I'll think I'll kind of spoil the enjoyment. I don't know. It probably makes absolutely zero sense. But sometimes I feel like for books like this, you need to be in the right state of mind. And sometimes I'm not in the right state of mind for that kind of book, so I just don't read it. And yeah, I think I was reading some Harry Potter on Tuesday, but like I said, I didn't read anything yesterday. But yeah, I'm gonna read now, well, after I have my food and everything. So yeah, I might update you at some point whenever I've got something else to say about the book, I suppose. My hair is quite curly all of a sudden, I don't know why. But yeah, see ya! Hi guys, for a change it is actually Friday now, not even the evening. I'm on my lunch break at home. Really pleased because I got my parcel from my friend from Russia for Christmas and I'm really pleased about that. I opened it straight away. I wanted to wait till the evening to have it like a nice something to come back to from work, but I couldn't wait, so I just opened it straight away. I'm not going to show you everything that's in it because I just don't want to. It might be kind of personal, but I'm pleased with absolutely everything that I've got. But I want to show you a couple of bits. First of all is a pretty book. It is obviously in Russian, and it is a comic book. That is my first comic book ever, but it's not just a comic book as in this basically is translated as being a book lover, and as you can see from the cover, maybe the end papers, beautiful. And obviously it is about, well, the title probably tells you everything, and like, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I might even be reading it tonight, we'll see. So yeah, isn't that lovely? And then another thing is this beautiful hand cream. It's watermelon scented. I love things that smell like watermelon. Oh yes, and plus I use hand creams all the time, so watermelon hand cream is amazing. And also I got quite a cute card. Love it, love the style of it. Beautiful, beautiful. So yeah, I got a couple of other bits, but I'm not gonna show them to you. Also, I wanted to mention that yesterday I read 2 short stories from my short story book that I think I mentioned yesterday, the Witches short story book. One of the short stories was actually really good. It probably would be my favorite from the whole collection. It was called A Carved Forest. I can't remember the author at the moment, but it was about this lady who's supposed to be considered a witch. That is a very old one. Nobody really knows how old she is, and she's got this sort of on the back of her garden, she's got wooden figures, and she sort of controls people's lives, kind of, in a way. But yeah, it was really good. It was 20 pages long, but it was really good, actually. I really enjoyed it. And the other one was, I can't remember what it was or what it was about. How bad is that? But yeah, I didn't read anything else yesterday. I read 4 pages from the binding because I had my half day yesterday and I fell asleep on the sofa in the afternoon. So much for my half day. But anyway, also recently I ordered something from the Redbubble because I've always wanted to try it, and I quite like different arts, as in I want to have a few paintings at home, a few different things like decoration sort of thing. So I ordered a few bits. First one is this beautiful thing. it's a canvas. I think it's beautiful. I don't know if my phone is actually transferring the colors, but there's just something about this that just drew my eyes to it, and I think it's beautiful. I don't know where to hang it, in the living room or in the bedroom, but I just really like it. I love the colors of it. I think it's really, really pretty. So I really like that. And then also today I received my 2 notebooks. So I went for this one. I was considering to get this one on canvas as well. But then I thought, is it mostly like a wintry thing? Is it going to be looking good as like this style on a canvas? I wasn't sure, so I didn't. So I decided to go for a notebook instead, for now at least. But I think it's really pretty as well. It's like mysterious and dark, and there's a cat, and it's like, I don't know, I just love this style. I like how mysterious and slightly gothic-y it looks, because that road could lead you anywhere. I like the lanterns, I like the light, I like the full moon, and the black cat obviously, and it's all wintry. It makes it more magical. Love it. And then another one is this style, tea and books. It just looked, I thought, quite cozy and cute. So there are so many different designs. It was so difficult to choose from any of that, but I've gone for these ones, and also they're lined inside, which is quite nice, and I quite like the rings because I think they're quite useful. But yes, again, there's a bookshelf in the background. It's like a purpley colour. I think it's really cute as well. Just looking at it makes me feel cozy already, and that's what I kind of like in my notebooks. I'm not sure what I'll be using these for. I just love different notebooks. I always have a few, and I always do use them. Sometimes it takes me a while to start using them for different purposes, but still. I also have a card somewhere on the way as well, like a greeting card, so when that arrives I'll show you that as well, because why not? So yeah, ideally I've got like 10 minutes left for my lunch break. I would play piano, but I've got 10 minutes and then I'll have to go back to work. But at least now I've got a good mood, because pleased with everything, especially this one. I'm looking forward to it. I'm not into comic books at all, but this looks really cool and interesting, so I can't wait. Genuinely cannot wait to start reading it. I'm sure it'll hopefully just take me one evening, so pleased about that a lot. Oh, and it smells delicious. And it's a hardcover book. Love hardcover books. So yeah, that is everything that I wanted to update you on. We'll see you at some point, most likely Sunday or Monday, as it seems to be the day I vlog. Anyways, bye! Hello, sorry, terrible light is back, but it is Saturday today, the 25th of January. It is 4:15 in the afternoon. I had my health day today again, and that was lovely. But I wanted to say that I actually finished the book, and that was the book that I got yesterday. I literally read this last night before going to bed. I read it within an hour, and oh my god, I loved it so much. It was so cozy. The illustrations were cozy. The quotes and everything was so relatable and so cute. I loved it. I honestly think I'm going to be rereading it a lot. Look at the illustrations. They're really cute. And I think I didn't mention the author. It's Debbie Tang, I think. I don't know. But this was beautiful. If I was on Goodreads, I would have rated it 5 stars. It was absolutely wonderful and cute and adorable. Just a pleasure, pure pleasure to read. And sometimes I think also, when I'm not in the mood to read, but I want to be in the mood to read, this could be a book to go to, because even like a couple of pages would put me in the right state of mind. It's just so adorable. It's like this page, for example, it says ideal party. Isn't that just right? And other things. It's beautiful, it's cute, it's adorable. So yeah, I read that one. I don't think I read anything else yesterday. I'm planning to read something tonight, obviously. I'm not sure what. For now, my plan is to play the piano for a little bit and then go shower, have some food. I'm gonna have a piece of salmon and chips today. Love chips and love salmon as well. So that's what I'm gonna have, and yeah, then I'm gonna be reading. Not sure what I'm going to be reading. I'd like to make progress on The Binding because I've not read a lot of it, but I need to. So yeah, that is everything that I wanted to tell you now. Most likely I'll update you tomorrow. I might even close off the vlog tomorrow, maybe as usual Monday, because it seems to be what I'm doing anyway. So yeah, I'm happy today with everything. Hi, it is Sunday today, finally filming on a Sunday, the 26th of January. It is about 6 o'clock in the evening or something like that. I think I'm starting to have a sort of a reading slump. I don't mind reading short books in which I just literally read in one sitting, as it was that comic book that I showed you yesterday, or the day before. I can't remember when I showed you that one. But books like this, perfect. I'm happy to read them. I don't mind because they're non-committal and you just read it whenever you want to, and that's basically it. Sorry, I just can't make my fringe look acceptable. It's way too long, I need to cut it, but oh well. Never mind. So I think I'm kind of starting to have a sort of a slump. Hopefully not. But anyway, today I only literally read like a couple of chapters from The Binding. I'm currently on chapter 7, which is page 94. It is kind of a slow-going book. It is very, very atmospheric though. I find myself being completely immersed into it within a couple of pages, if not less than that, because it really does immerse you right into the book, and like you forget about everything else. But at the same time, I'm not sure if I'm just not in the mood to read this kind of book, because as you can see, I've not done much progress, and I was doing really well with my historical fiction. I was doing a book a week that I was planning to, but with this one, I don't know why I'm slowed down. Maybe that just shows that I need to pick up a different book in which I'll be much more in the mood for, something a little bit different. I'm considering of picking up The Girl Who Speaks Bear, because that one could be like a short read, short-ish, and hopefully easy, because that one is a children's book and completely different from The Binding. Maybe that's it. Maybe because I've been reading so much historical fiction, now I'm kind of getting not in the mood, and I feel like I need to read something a little bit different. I don't know, but still. And then also big books intimidate me, like Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. I could be reading that one. I do kind of want to read that one, but again, probably the size that scares me, so I think it does show I'm slightly going into a reading slump. Hopefully not. Hopefully it's just a couple of days or a week or so, but nothing too drastic, hopefully. But yeah, also yesterday I was watching TV. Again, I wasn't in the mood to read, so I watched TV, a program that I've watched for the first time ever. I think it was called Bone Detectives, and it was something about a cemetery that was discovered with bones of the 13th century, and they were sort of wondering why they were there and how, basically the history behind it all, how people were punished for crimes and whatever, why they were out of the church, not buried in the church. If it was, basically it would be a long story. I'm not familiar with the English history that much anyway, so I couldn't tell you, but it was really interesting. It really sparked my interest in one specific book that I had on my shelf for how long it's been, like about 3 years now or something like this, maybe less than 3 years, but over 2 years. And that is How We Built Britain, as you can see, by David Dumbleby, I suppose. And it says BBC on it, so I don't know if there was a TV show about it or whatever, but I picked it up a few years ago because it just looked interesting. And it is basically a non-fiction book about Britain's buildings, how they were made, why they were made like that, different styles of buildings. There are a lot of different photographs and a lot of information on everything. So I started reading that yesterday. Don't expect me to finish this book quickly, because whenever I start a huge non-fiction, it takes me about a year to get through one of them. But I think it was one of my goals, I don't know if I mentioned that to you, to read a little bit more of non-fiction books on different topics. So that could be one of the non-fiction books that I could be reading. But
I need to try and make an effort to actually consciously read it from time to time. That will be just fabulous. But yes, I literally read an introduction and the first couple of pages. So I'm on page 15, which wasn't a lot, but still, I think I'm gonna obviously give it a go. I don't know if I'll be reading anything from this book tonight. We'll have to see. So yeah, I'm not sure about my plan for the afternoon. I just watched a piano lesson that I have been doing. I am on my lesson 5. I watched 5 lessons. Now I'm kind of learning how to read music notes, like music sheets or whatever you call them. Then I practiced my piano for a little bit. And then I'm watching a video by a different booktuber that I've never watched before. I'm just kind of trying to discover different people from time to time. This one, I think she's called Books with Chloe. I think I've not subscribed to her yet. I'm considering it. I'm just watching her favorite books of 2019 video, and then I'll decide if I want to subscribe to her or not. But anyway, so yeah, after that I'll need to cook something, have a shower, and then see. I might be in the mood to colour in one of my books whilst listening to music. Speaking of music, I found another song that I've loved. Well, 2 songs. Both of them by the same, again, artist or band. I still don't know how to pronounce that, placebo, or whatever you want to call them. But 2 songs is The Bitter End. Really like that one. Plays in my head a lot. And also, what's it called? Sleeping with Ghosts. I think I prefer that one a lot. It's honestly beautiful. I love it. It plays a lot in my head. So 3 songs of the month are all of them by the same band. Isn't that funny? And that's the band that I never used to listen to before. So it's quite a nice discovery. I didn't enjoy all of the other albums. It's just this one that's called Sleeping with Ghosts that I liked 6 songs from, which doesn't often happen. It's like half the album. That honestly never happens. But yeah, anyway, I thought I'd give you that information as well. I don't know if you needed that or not. But anyway, I think I'm also, for now, going to close off the vlog. I don't know what I'll be reading in the evening. I don't know if I'll be reading anything in the evening. If I'll want to watch a film or something, I'll just go with the flow. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. And as usual, let me know what books you've been reading for the past couple of weeks. If you've read any of the books that I've mentioned in this vlog, or if you like any of the songs that I've mentioned in this vlog, I'd love to chat about all that in the comments down below. So please do leave a comment. I always appreciate it. And yeah, thank you for watching. Bye!